Hello friends, welcome to Anirban's World of Digital Finance powered by S4Hana. You can see that I am sitting in a like a bright sunshine and a lot of greens outside, but it's all digital, trust me, because it's 11 p.m. in the night, 30th July. All right. So I thought of recording this video because I have not been recording anything today. I was pretty busy all the day, so I thought of recording at least one video before I call it a day. So this would be a 46th video, and it would be on document entry in SAP, S4HANA, and various parameters which control the document entry, which are the document type, posting keys, and the number ranges, right? Which is mostly offered by SAP standard offerings, and SAP gives the option to for us to configure if the business requires, right? But in this video, I'm not going to configure anything. I'm going to just orient you on the screens. All right, and show you how you can show you the option of entering the new entries. But I won't be do fiddling around with those screens because those are pretty standard offerings which we mostly use across all the businesses. It's a very rare exception that the business asks us to use to configure new posting keys or new document types. But yeah, number ranges we. All right. So with that, let's start sharing our screen. Okay. So I hope that I believe that you can see the screen. And yes, this is our very own Excel file. As I was talking about, mentioned before that this is S4HANA FICO module 46 video, and it would be on document types and document controls, and it would involve both end user and configuration. So I will, if whenever I'm creating a playlist, these videos will be incorporated in both end user and the configuration. All right. So with that, let's go directly to SAP. SAP S4HANA 2020. Okay. Now, I'll go to accounting, financial accounting. And if you see, there are general ledger, accounts receivables, and accounts payables. So you can enter your documents in the form for general ledger and also in accounts receivables and accounts payable. So first I'll go to document general ledger document entry. If you see that you can enter by FB50, the same thing you can do in F-02. So you remember our company code is HKNM, which stands for Hakuna Matata. All right. So this portion, which you see the basic data tab, which is a header section, and this header text section would have various details like documented, where you would be entering various details like documented, posting key, reference number, and a reference number. Many times we call this as an invoice number. In SAP, it is set as reference number. So the vendor invoice number is actually entered in this reference number, or customer invoice number is entered in the reference number in accounts receivable and accounts payable. Here you can give some reference for your SA accounts. Yeah, and this is the header document. Okay, this is the header document which is equally applicable for all the line item details. So the one here, these are called the line items. Okay, these are the line items, and this is called the header level details. All right, and yeah. Now, okay, and just let me go out of this once. Again, this is also called a header level details. F-02, you can do the same thing. And if you see this type, document type is SA. So the header level is actually determined by the document type. So it talks about whether it is a GL document, general ledger document, or accounts receivable, or accounts payable, whether it is a customer invoice, whether it's a vendor invoice, whether it's a credit memo. So that document type is determined by this two-digit numeric alphabetical number. And if you go down, you will see this posting key. This is basically again the line item level details, and the posting key of 40 and 50 will determine the line item. So while the line item is determined by the posting key, the header level details are determined by the type. We'll go out. So we spoke about FD50 and F-02 for the document for general ledger. The same thing we will see in accounts receivable and accounts payable. In accounts receivable, it is FB70. Is the same thing, uh, and uh, and for here it is there is a document header text, and this is a line item level details. If we go out, the same thing we will see in accounts receivable, accounts payable, which is FB60, and even the credit memos are if we can enter the credit memo here F-27. Okay, if dash 22 is the other way, I mean here you can see that we can enter the same thing which we do in FB70 in here F dash 22. And these are the header text and these are the line item level fields. These are the posting keys which determines the nature of the whether it's a debit or the credit. So if we go to accounts payable, the same thing, document entry, we'll go to FB60. And if we go out, the same thing we will do in F-43. Right? So it's these are the ways we can enter the documents in GL, AR, and AP. And we have also discussed about the document type and the posting keys. Now with that, let's take a deeper look into the document type, posting keys, and the number ranges. So we'll go out of this, or I'll open a new session. I'll go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG. You go to financial accounting global settings, and then you go to documents, document types. So we have just now discussed about the document types, right? For example, here KR is nothing but like the vendor invoice. Okay, KR is determined by the vendor invoice, and that is the document type. Now, how this document type is configured? So you go to SPRO and you click on document type. So these are the document types that are actually offered by SAP. Usually this is sufficient for business, but in case if business asks you to needs new document type, we can always go click on new entries and configure new document types. But if you go here, like if you click on essay, you see the document type and a description, GL account document, and then if you go on DR would be customer document invoice. If you go to KR, it is vendor invoice. KG is vendor payment. So each one of the documents, like is determined by the document type. And here in this screen, like the document type and the description is defined, and you can have the option. You have the option to enter new entries. Going back to essay, if you double click here, you will see that this is how the configuration is made, that the document type is SA. If you reverse a document, then it will get a document type AB. The number range is 01, and then the accounts type allowed and everything is mentioned all over here. We also spoke about number ranges. So other than the GL, the number ranges should not overlap. Okay, in vendor and the customer and any other number ranges, the number ranges should not overlap. If you see this, notice that this is 01 is a number range for AC document. So if you click here and we populate our company code HKNN and then see the interval 01. So 01 is defined for 2021. When you see 99999, it means that it is all across the, I mean, till the end. I mean, it will be valid for all the years. And 01 2021, 01 2022, these are the number ranges that is there. And if this 01 is not there, then you can always, like create a new entry by clicking here. Okay. For example, 01 is there here in 9999, but if it has not been there, if it is only 2020 and you need to create a 2021, then you can click here and click here, insert a new line, and you can always create your own number range. What number range we have seen here, we could go through by going back, and here is a document number range. The same screen will go through by here. Okay. So we can go here as well as through this node, or as well as through document type node, or the document number range has its own separate node through which we can go and make the changes on the or check. Now we also discussed about the posting key. So the three things that we discussed which controls our document entries. One is the document type, which document type will mainly, as we mentioned before, the document type will mainly control your header text. Document number ranges is self-explanatory. It will define the number that would be generated once the document is posted. Number ranges are of two types. One is the internal and the external. Internal number ranges would be numeric in nature and it would be generated by the system. The external could be alphanumeric and it would be generated manually. Okay, if you remember that for a vendor, when we were entering the vendor numbers, the one-time vendor we set as alphanumeric, while the foreign vendor and the domestic vendor, we have selected the internal document number ranges. So same thing here, internal and external. We can define document number ranges. The third one is define posting keys. So the posting key is actually controls the line item level, entries. So if you go here, if you see, if you remember, 40s and 50s are all the other debit entry and the credit entry in the GL account. So this is all configured here and these are all standard SAP offering, and we are going to use the same thing. All right. Now there are certain settings uh, for each T code for each like this posting keys for document types. The combination is fixed by SAP, which also I'm going to show you now. So if you go to default values and you click here, so if you see F-02 enter GL account SA40. So this combination is actually fixed by SAP and that we usually use. So I'll go back to show you again. If I go out, so if you see I'm in F-02, I went into F-02. This is a document type SA, and this is 40. This is 40 is a posting key. 40 is a posting key, right? So this combination is controlled in this table by SAP, right? So this is how the document entry is controlled by parameters, which are the document type, posting key, and number ranges. Correct. So that's it about the document entry and the posting key and the parameters which controls the document entry in SAP, both in across GL, AR, and AP. I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, please click on the like icon and share it with all your friends. And if you're yet to subscribe the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you, guys. Bye.